when it comes to laptops and PC for music production, if you have a laptop that can do music production well, most likely it will be able to do video editing and production well also, because they rely mainly on the same sort of factors. But to start off, if you look at the laptop, one of the main pros to it is, I think it's the only one unless I've missed a few, but it's mainly portability, meaning that you can easily carry it around and work with it anywhere. Compared to the PC, it's relatively expensive. Okay, so with that, if you look at the PC, if you look at it critically, it has more pros than cons. One of them being continuous, continuous like upgrades. You can easily change key components of your PC. If you want to upgrade like the CPU, like if you want to add more graphic cards, you can easily do that. And also another thing, it's relatively uh, cheaper compared to a laptop, uh, since mainly because of the first point, you can always customize the way you want it. You can keep on changing a few things here and there to improve the processing power of it. And I think with that, just one con it has it's not like portable. That's the only other thing. Oh, and one of the pros, I forgot one of them. It's actually quite a workhorse. You can, especially when it comes to video editing, and leave it rendering for almost a week and it'll still work fine. But if you try to do that with a laptop, chances are it will crash or have severe like problems of overheating and such. One of the few things you need to look at when getting either a laptop or PC, this depending on your situation and your budget. Under the CPU, you should look at mainly three things: the type of processor, the frequency, which is like the speed of the processor, and the other thing is the RAM. So like the first one, like looking at the frequency, you should be between, don't go for anything below 2.6 gigahertz. Uh, um, it's anything below that, that actually is the minimum. Shouldn't go for anything below that. You normally find in the market, I think right now they are normally 2.6, 2.7 and 2.8. I think that's the highest, unless you have a MacBook, which is also an option, but it's quite pricey unless you have the budget for that. 2.6 gigahertz, 2.7, 2.8, and you should go for between that area, but the higher the better. But of course, the higher the more expensive. So this kind of laptops mainly are between uh, 40 to 40,000 to around 60, and or 60 to 80 depending on the processor. Now for the processor, you shouldn't go for anything below, if you're looking at uh, Intel processors, you shouldn't go for anything below i5. i3, it doesn't have a lot of processing power. Actually, that's what I have. That's the kind of laptop that I'm using right now. It's actually an i3, and the processor, the frequency of the processor is 1.8 gigahertz, which is very low, and the RAM is 4 GB, which is also quite low. So don't go for anything below i5. And if you can get, it's best to get an i7 if you can. And another thing we should look at is the RAM. The RAM is like the working memory of the computer, like the working memory, that what it can handle at that time, while running other processes and applications. So the more you have, the better. Don't go cheap, because cheap actually ends up becoming expensive. But when you're getting a laptop that's for music production or audio production, it's better you go with someone that knows the best price you can get the laptops, because sometimes you can end up overpaying for something where you could have gotten it uh, at a much cheaper price. Yeah, which really happens a lot. So yeah, with that. So another thing you should look at is the OS. It's mainly 64-bit. You should look at the internal hard disk, how big it is. For for my computer, it's 256 GB, which is like the minimum you should go. Remember to have an external hard disk, and uh, I think having maybe one or two of them, it's a good idea. And a special notice, don't ever carry your laptop with your hard disk together, because I know someone that did that, and they were still paying for a laptop, for that laptop they were using, and it got stolen. So those are the most important thing you should look at when looking for a laptop or a PC. That's it. Unless you want to add some few tips, you can put them in the comment section. But other than that, see you next time.